a fight for the right to be.
All right, Coach, from one of the loudest venues in the NFL, there's a look at Arrowhead Stadium here in Kansas City. Today, it's a matchup in the AFC West between the Oakland Raiders and the Kansas City Chiefs. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Chiefs now coming out for their opening drive. They're led onto the field by their quarterback, a man who's made quite the name for himself in the NFL, and that's Russell Wilson.
And they are in rhythm on offense because of him. I mean, right now he's got everything going the way he wants to, finding the receivers the way he wants to, looking over defenses. No interceptions is the number I lock in on. Before a touchdown pass isn't so bad either.
Yeah, what a game he had last week. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
What a catch, and one-handed, and I'm starting to lose my awe about the play, and maybe I shouldn't. How much of this is the player? How much of it is the glove?
Well, those gloves, they do have a little grip to them,
they
don't
get a little extra tackiness to them now, and I know the guys in the NFL, the competition committee, some other places, they're talking about examining those gloves to see if they're having too much of an effect on the game. Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL, so when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be second and a couple.
You know, I don't think this is the last time we'll see that in this game. This guy has mobility, and they want to use his legs in the game plan. So there'll be designed runs as well as his scrambles.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 14 carries, 55 yards, and a touchdown.
Are we playing old school football now? We've got the top 10 rusher in the league. He's sitting at number 10, but he has a chance to move up with a big-time game. So expect that offensive line every time they go to the bench and tell the offensive coordinator, let's run the football.
And down to the 44, 5 yards that time. It is the lifeblood of the offense.
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards on the pickup, and that is going to set up a 3rd and 1.
It's really simple to say that they know their identity, that they are a passing team. But one of the reasons that they're so successful, they know how to mix in the run and make sure that they keep the defense off balance and not able to just simply say, let's go get the quarterback and disrupt things.
So he fought off the tackle, and that effort gives him the first before he's brought down. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues. Had a chance to maybe limit them to 3 if they could have gotten that stop there, but a new set of downs.
And with a new set of downs, you got to take the mentality of the whole thing. Right now, everyone's looking at the offense and saying they've got the advantage. The best defenses just say, okay, new set of downs, gives us another chance to make a play ourselves and maybe change things up.
Play action. It's Wilson. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. Nelson Aguilar, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up second down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. 2nd and 10 now, Wilson. And he comes back with one complete. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Now it's Wilson. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
It is tough to complete pass against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation. And there, the defense won the battle. The kick by Fairbairn is good. And the Chiefs are out to a 3-0 lead. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. So I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. So here comes the Raiders offense now onto the field. And a glance here at their quarterback standing 6'3".
And what's a quarterback's best friend?
Balance?
I think you're right. I agree with you. You know, a lot of guys would say great receiver, right? A terrific offensive line. But I agree with you, balance, because if you can run the ball effectively, that just opens things up for guys who want to throw it and gives you easier passing lanes and easier coverages to read.
And they said balance will be a focus in this one.
Yeah, they don't want it all just heaped on his shoulders, I don't believe. I think they want to make sure they take some of the pressure off.
It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give him the yardage that they needed. But they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
The numbers for Cooks in that game last week. 6 catches, up over 130 yards, and a touchdown.
And he's trying to prove the adage, it's not just how you start, it's how you finish. And he is finishing awfully strong, takes great care of his body. I expect him to go ahead and put a cap around this season.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. He'll take this from the 40 up to the 45 for a gain of 5.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators...
Ready to go now in the second quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. It's the Raiders in possession of the football. They've got a 2nd down at 5 here to start things out. And they'll go on the ground. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Oh, a big decision here early. Look at this. They're going to go for it on their own side of the field.
No, check. Patriot! No, check. Patriot!
They'll try and throw for it here. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And now this is going to depend on the spot. And they say he's just short. So shall we say a bold decision to go for it, and that bold decision does not pay off.
And when you talk about bold, you're saying all caps?
All caps.
Yeah, without a doubt. Maybe they're telling their defense they have a lot of faith in them. I mean, that's how you have to spin it, is that you tell your defense, you know something? We were able to go for it there because you guys are so good. I'm not worried about things. That's the only explanation I can come up with in this situation.
Well, he better get ready to spin it for that post-game presser because you know he's going to be out.
He's going to have to spin it for his own locker room, frankly.
From midfield now, here's Wilson. To Shepard, complete over the middle. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. First catch for him. It's good for a dozen and a first down. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage, if he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Now Wilson throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. Great move, but still wrangled before reaching the 20. It'll be a gain of 4, and it'll bring up a second down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a 1st and goal. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. They were held to a field goal on their first drive. They want 6 now, but it's 3rd and goal. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
We get slap happy up here sometimes. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. So out comes the field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. Fairbairn able to put this one through. And that will make it 6-0. So scores on their first 2 possessions, but 6-0, so field goals probably not what they were hoping for.
Now, you're exactly right about that. Not what they were hoping for, but they should be happy that they have points on the board. It almost feels like that old slow and steady wins the race, doesn't it? In this case, though, they want to be slow and steady now, but get explosive later and put the points up on the board.
And now Oakland ready to take the field.
Watch it now, Barney!
Now they'll run it on the toss. Oh, nice spin.
Oh, that brought back bad memories.
And this will set them up nicely deep down in KC territory. A big play that time for the Raiders. 68 yards on the ground. He was able to set the edge on the left side, and the O-line able to set the edge well, too, on that side. They did a good job blocking out in front.
And you and I both know there's only a set amount of blockers that can be out in front. But didn't it feel like there was double on that play to open up the path?
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And it's caught. And he's brought down. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a 1st and goal.
As the field starts to get condensed, the defense likes that a lot because now you don't have as much space to cover, but a well-run corner route there.
So it's 1st and goal and a great opportunity to get that lead back before the break. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. So it's 1st and goal and a great opportunity to get that lead back before the break.
Watch it now, Barney!
They come out here in the I. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he fights his way into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. A great play there. His 17th touchdown now on the season. And the Raiders have drawn even here, and they can take the lead with the extra point to come. Extra point good by Hopkins. And that will give them the lead here as we get on towards halftime. Here's Hopkins now out to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Chiefs offense, they get ready to head on the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something? You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here. Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down. Over the middle, complete. That's Shepard. Now another timeout called for by the offense, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. Wilson now 8 of 11 in this first half. He's got it 1st and 10. From the shotgun, Wilson. That is incomplete. They've been playing sound fundamental defense thus far and able to keep this offense from creating a major dent on the scoreboard. Able to force the incompletion, but still waiting for that game-changing play. You feel like it's coming, the first sack, the first turnover. In a sense, they're playing old-school defense right now. The new-school defense is what you said, taking the ball away. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a 1st down. I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks. Wilson, he's going to loft one deep left side here. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Able to get there and pick it. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10.
Detroit!
They'll throw now on the final play. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And this one is incomplete. You want the 3rd quarter already? No problem. Let's do it. So we've reached halftime with the visiting Raiders out in front. The Raiders with the lead already, and they will get the football here as the second half is now underway. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. Out comes the Raiders offense. They'll go on offense first to start quarter number 3. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead. And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game. The adjustment to the adjustment. Without a doubt. Show him one thing, hit him with something else. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play. Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And Cooks has it over the middle. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another 1st down. Now they'll run it on the toss. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. William Jackson with a pick. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
And he stopped immediately there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
And I think that's going to go down as no gain, but that doesn't seem fair for the effort that was presented on that play. That should go down as a loss. I know, I'm a defensive guy, but you got to like the play that was made.
He made a lot of those plays last week. He was AFC Defensive Player of the Week, picking up where he left off. They run a draw here on second down. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down, but a nice little gain. They get 9 yards back on the run there, and they're left with a much more makeable 3rd and 2.
I thought that was a good call. Passing situation on second down. They hit him with the draw instead and pick up nice yardage.
Yeah, because the draw, they're thinking pass when they see that initially defensively, right?
Well, you know, in today's NFL, most of the time on second and long when it's a passing situation, pass rushers are on the field and they're only thinking one thing, get to the quarterback. And oftentimes you can bypass them with a running play.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's going to ball his way into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. A great effort there. His 9th touchdown of the season. And the Chiefs use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Well, they had their chances in the first half, you remember, but had to settle for 2 field goals. This time they come away with 6.
I think they actually got affirmation about what they were doing by getting a touchdown because the field goals means they got in range but couldn't quite finish it off. This time they broke through, and that's great for the old confidence.
And on the sideline, difference of a feeling between 3 and 6, is it astronomical or no?
It can be at times, that's for sure. A lot of times the field goal feels like a disappointment. The touchdown, well, that tells you you're getting it done.
There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's had a good performance, moved the ball effectively on the ground. Of course, he has the 1 touchdown.
And when you're able to move it as effectively as you've described, that leads to finding a way into the end zone, and now he's just trying to do it for a second time. And, of course, with that comes additional yardage.
Yeah, looking for additional yardage, and again, that second score here in the 3rd quarter. On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Oh, that's got to frustrate him a little bit because it nearly got to him there, and it would have been the first sack of the game. Instead, they're able to influence the release, and they did force the incomplete pass.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They're going to look to throw. Over the middle, that's caught by Ross. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A good pickup there, 26 yards. They'll set up a throw. And the Chiefs are going to get him. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it. They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. Going deep downfield for Roll. And this throw will be intercepted. William Jackson with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. On 4th down, that turned out like a punt. Maybe he was better defensively there just to knock it down.
And you know they go over those situations. All right, 4th down. Where's the ball? Where would we get the ball? But instinct takes over, and when it's in the air, they just go and get it. So it's hard to get on it for intercepting it, but the smart play would have been what you suggested. Knock it down and deeper position.
That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. And on the ground they go with running back. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Right back to him on 1st down. Takes it to the 26, just a 1-yard gain.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
We're back now in KC. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a 3rd down. Well, I think you'd have to say defensively, these guys are doing their job pretty well, right?
Yeah, we talked about them holding them under 20 points, right, on defense. And they've done that. They've held them. The problem is their own offense hasn't answered their challenge, which was to score.
And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Miles Jack. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. A critical error there in a tight game of the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter. Turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the 4th quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
A looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7, but first things first, they need to score as they come up on 1st and goal. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And no signal yet. I don't think he got in. He didn't. They'll mark him at the 1. No gain on the play, and it's going to be 2nd and goal. They'll give it to him up the middle. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a 3rd and goal. This is 3rd and goal. This Chiefs defense, they're giving it all they got. They come out here in the eye. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's in. Touchdown, Raiders. A great play there. His 2nd TD of the game and 18th of the year. And the Raiders, they're within an extra point of tying this thing up.
But they decided to run it in and got it done on 3rd and goal. A lot of times that's a passing play.
And the kicker just has to come out for the PAT. He can breathe a sigh of relief as well, right?
Although I don't know if he's really breathing a sigh of relief. I think he likes to put 3 points on his ledger.
So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this 4th quarter. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's Russell Wilson in the Seahawk offense now getting set to go again. And it was his interception on the last drive that wound up leading to a game-tying touchdown.
And somehow you can make this a positive, though. You know why? Game tied now. So you're not protecting the lead, so you're not playing that well. You got to go get the lead again. So maybe it loosens him up a little bit and allows him to go ahead and be a little more free in his play.
An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And they went the wrong way there, losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
And he'll take it inside the 40 to the 39-yard line. Give him 3 yards on the run there. That still leaves him with a difficult 3rd and 8 coming up.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off at about the 31. And he'll get this back across the midfield stripe and down to the 47-yard line. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December.
Season of giving.
Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Spinning away and able to push forward for right around 3 yards down to the 42. Time for a break. We'll come back and see how it all shakes out after this. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. And they're facing a big 3rd down now in this tie ball game. He'll drop to throw. Got a man, it's Ross, complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 14 yards is the pickup there at a Raider first.
Nice, well-coached, a team that understands what's going on. They still have time to work the middle of the field as they just did there.
Watch him now, Barney, Barney.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. Now here's a defensive timeout called by the Chiefs as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. And they'll run it here. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Now a 2nd timeout called for by the defense as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Now they'll run it on the toss. Give him 6 yards, and they do convert on 3rd.
Another carry for their leader, and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And here he'll get it down to the 7. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. They'll look to throw. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. A great effort there. A 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Raiders have moved out in front.
Hey, that score deserves our respect, deserves our excitement. But I'm looking at the clock, and I'm thinking, there's a long way to go in this one.
Ideally, they would have liked to milk a little bit more time off. Now on the other sideline, you start to get the crew together and say, this is what we practiced the 2-minute drill for, right?
Yeah, you hope you've been in that situation before, and if you haven't, you just have the confidence, hey, let's go down there and get this thing done. But, boy, that's a big score right there to give them the advantage.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Russell Wilson now gears up to lead the offense again. This is something we've seen many times over the course of his career. Can he pull off another fourth-quarter comeback?
And it's very strange, isn't it? Because when it's a player of this magnitude.
And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Myles Jack.
You hear me laughing, partner, and I'm not laughing at the situation. But sometimes you just get yourself into a rut. It's hard to shake yourself out of it.
So out come the Raiders. They have the lead, still a one-possession game, but the defense got the stop. They've got the football now, just salted away, right?
Exactly. That's all the defense is counting on from their offense. They did their job in a big way. You know they're over on the sidelines now starting to take their tape off, and, hey, we've done this thing. The offense has to put it away, and that means ball security.
Absolutely. Stranger things have happened. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help.
Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked up by Ahkello Witherspoon. And he'll take this across midfield and inside the 45. I'm surprised with the lead in a one-score game this late. They're even putting the ball in the air in that situation.
Almost makes me feel like the head coach might be second-guessing himself by not clicking on and saying, all we're doing is running it here. But give credit to the guys on defense. They made a play that they absolutely had to have to give themselves a chance to be in this game.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. There have been quite a few plays they might look back on and say, we really have hurt ourselves, and that was another example.
And this is late-game execution. Everything on the line, so it all has to come together properly. The throw's made. Where's the catch? Got to catch in that spot.
And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a first down. First down now, but that clock rolling. And the spike comes with 9 seconds left to go. And unable to connect. It's incomplete. And the clock stopped at 8 seconds. Back to throw. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on.
Pass interference. Defense.
So the pass incomplete in the end zone, but contact and pass interference.
And now where does the ball get placed?
At the 1-yard line.
1-yard line. They gave up excellent real estate on that one. That's going to work really, really well for the guys who threw it.
One last shot for Wilson. And this is incomplete. So no miracles here on the final play. And this ball game is over. Well, no doubt an electrifying finish to have it down inside the 10-yard line. That final shot, though, they couldn't get it in the end zone, and that's all she wrote.
And they had the final shot. The last snap taken that close to the end zone. They don't get it in, so they'll regret that. But flip it over, making a stand in that portion of the field,